Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Taylor. If you don't know who I am, I'm the ESL teacher for the school district. This will be my third year in Westampton. This year, I will also be teaching basic skills for first and second grade. I spend most of my time in the elementary school, so intermediate school, I haven't had any students yet, and middle school, I've only had a few, and I'm only there 30 minutes a day. So if you don't know me, that's probably why. Um, so I volunteered to do the Google Slides tutorial because I've been using Google Slides all year. And so I already had a pretty good understanding of how it works. I'm really glad I volunteered because I watched a bunch of tutorials and I learned a bunch more that it can do. So I'm going to try my best to share all of it with you. It is going to be a lot of information. So most of the slides in this Google Slides is actually notes. So this is everything that we're going to go through, and anything that is this green color underline is linked to another slide in the presentation. So I hate when I watch tutorials and they give you tons of information, and by the end of the tutorial, it was so much information you can't remember any of it, or there's something that you can't remember and you end up having to watch the whole thing over again. So I wrote notes so that you don't have to watch this whole thing again. You can just simply click on these words and it'll go straight to the slide that has the notes. Hopefully I did a decent job of writing the notes. And they make sense. Also, I'm going to try to go back and put timestamps on all of these. So if you just want to learn about the class rewards, I'll have a timestamp and you can go to that part of the video. Also, there was my email address on that first slide. Just email me for these slides, or I'm sure there's going to be a shared drive in the school, Google shared drive, that I will put this in. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I want to talk to you about is how to share. There's lots of different ways to share. So I'm going to get out of presentation mode. The easiest way is to just go up here to the share button. First, you want to make sure you have a title. You can type in your title, or if you haven't touched this yet, if you just simply click, it will automatically title it whatever the very first thing that you typed in or whatever you put into the title text. I don't really know. It's one of those. But I always end up putting the title first, and then I just simply click and it titles it for me. Or of course you can change. Okay, but now to share. This is where you want to go. So I already have this shareable, but usually down here it's going to say restricted. All you want to do is go to here, change, and make sure that it's going to say anyone on the internet with the link can view. So there's two types of presentations I'm going to show you today. There's going to be presentations where you just want the students to watch. You just want them to go through the slides. Maybe you embedded some links, which I'll show you how to do. Maybe you put in some audio files, some video files, things like that. If all you want them to do is view, this is what you want. I'm also going to show you how to make some interactive activities. The interactive, where you want them to type something in or move pieces, that you want them to be able to be editors. Okay, so you want to make sure and change this to editor. Okay, once you've done that, whichever one it is, if it's just a viewer, this is a trick that I learned. You want to copy this link, and when you send it to them, okay, so you could just simply copy and send it to them. You could also go up here and put in the emails and it will send them an invite. But the trick is if you copy this, or I could have just hit that, open up a new window, or this is how you email it to them, or this is how you could put it in your Google Classroom. So here is the link for my Google Slides. all of these words at the end, there's a backslash, edit, and everything after that, you want to get rid of. You want to type in the word present. Now, when you share it with them, it will automatically go into present mode, and they will not have the option of viewing the editing, where they see all the slides and they see all the editing tools. It's already on view, so they can't edit it, but you want them to see it as a presentation. So if you do that trick and share it that way, students, it will automatically go into present mode. This really helps if you have links, because in present mode, it's nice and easy. You just click on the words and click on an image or shape. If it's in this mode and you have a link, I can't just simply click on the letters. It's going to open up this extra step. Not that big of a deal, but it's still another step. Where on this mode, I can just simply click and it goes right there. Okay, so the other, well, I already have it copied, so I don't really need a copy. Let's try this again. The other trick, okay, so here's the original link again. The other trick, if you want them to all have their own copy, so maybe this is not a presentation, but something you want them to edit, like you want them to be able to type into text boxes, or you want them to move pieces, but you don't want them all working on the same document, because if one student moves, it's going to mess it up for another student. You want them to all have their own copy as though it was an activity in class you were doing. You replace those words at the end with copy. Now it's going to force me to make a copy. And you go up to the top and just teach them to delete copy of and put their name. And you will also have access to that copy. So in your drive now, when you go to slides, it will show your original and the copy from that student. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind for the two different types of presentations. Do you want them to only view it and view it in a presentation, or are they going to be moving pieces or adding things like that? Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is add-ons and extensions. Excuse me. These are both different ways to just be able to do extra with your Google Slides, and I'm sure it works in other Google apps. Add-ons you get up here. Sorry, and we can go to slide 11 where my notes are. All you have to do is go to Get Add-ons, and there's going to be a huge list that comes up. They do all sorts of things. I suggest Googling them, but I will tell you a few that are really fun. Magic Rainbow Unicorn Slides, unfortunately, is disabled through our Westamping account, but if you make your slides in your personal account, which was what I do, so that I don't have to remember to copy them all later if I ever move or change districts or something, they're all in my personal account already. Anyway, it will change the words into a rainbow. So I'm going to give you an example. This is, oh, wrong thing. This is my Bitmoji classroom that's about to come up, and I have a few words that have been rainbowified. This right here has been turned into a rainbow. So I'll show you an example of how to do it. Oh, you don't even need to highlight. Wait. Add-on, Magic Rainbow Unicorn Slides, start. And then you can adjust the colors and how many rainbows appear, all those things. You want to highlight the words and just start the magic. And it'll turn it into a rainbow. Nice and easy. So that one's just fun, a fun way to make your slides fun. Slides Translator is another great one, translating information. Like I said, I teach ESL, so this one is great for my students. I'm able to translate information. Nearpod, I'll do a quick thing about Nearpod. So I put a link right here. Come on. This is an activity I put together for my students in the spring. using Nearpod. I created this in Google Slides. Oh, I don't know if it's going to let me open it. Okay, it should. I created this in Google Slides. So everything with a rainbow on it is a slide that I created with directions, an example. These slides are from Nearpod, and you do the same thing. You open Nearpod, and it's going to open a bunch of options. You can add quizzes, you can add matching games, you can add open-ended, you can add all sorts of activities. These are fill in the blank. I don't know why it's not working. So lots of options here I won't go into, but you can experiment with that. You have to have a Nearpod account also. I've only had a free one. It does limit how many you're allowed to do, but the school has been buying us tons of accounts, so maybe they'll be buying this one also. But you can see all the different options. You can take polls, do quizzes, put a slideshow, and then you save and go to Nearpod, and it's going to generate a code that you give your students. And they go to, I can't remember what the join.nearpod.com, I think, and they enter in their code, and they will see this presentation. But when you get to these slides, they will have the option of filling in the blanks. The great thing about Nearpod is, other than, some of these, this is like a game. Whatever is like the quiz or the fill in the blank or the memory, they grade it for you. Except for like open-ended and I think fill in the blank, you have to go in and check yourself, but all the other ones get graded for you. So that's really awesome. Okay, another fun extension is Slides Randomizer. So I have teaching ESL. We do a lot of vocabulary. So I created these slides when we went to distance learning, but I'm going to continue using them even when we go back to in person. These are the vocabulary words that we've been using, or we've been learning and practicing. And I would tell them to practice every week, but before their quiz, so they couldn't just real easy. I mean, if they have to search for it, that's fine. Or every time every new week when I told them to practice, I wanted it to be different. So randomized presentation. You can keep the first slide as a title slide, or you can also randomize it. No, I would not like to keep it as a title. And then it's going to mix up all my slides. So watch over here. I'm going to hit OK, and these are all going to change. And they're all randomized. So now this is the first slide. So that's a great, I used it for vocabulary. I'm sure you can think of a million things to do with it. So those are a few of the add-ons that are really fun. Extensions are very similar. They're just extra things you can do. But to get extensions, you have to go to the Chrome Web Store. This is a link, or you can just search Chrome Web Store to get the different extensions. This is a link to a YouTube video where an educator goes through, I believe, 14 different extensions that are perfect for educators. And I'm so glad I watched it because I downloaded about 6 new extensions. So I'm not going to go through all of these. So watch the video. It's only like 12 minutes. But here's the notes on extensions. A few are Bitmoji. That is how you add the Bitmojis, how people have been making Bitmoji Classroom. That is an app you have to have on your phone first, and you create your little character. And then when you add the extension, you go to Chrome Web Store, search for it, and add extension and follow the directions. All of your extensions are going to show up here. They'll either be an icon, or I have to click, I don't know why, but I have to click the little puzzle, and then my extensions will pop up. So here's my Bitmoji, and I can just drag and drop a Bitmoji into my slides. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other things you can drag it into, like docs. So that's a fun one. Screencastify is what I'm using right now, and the district just bought us all accounts. So we have unlimited, and I'm using it right now. It's really easy. The other one is Simple Audio. So there's different audio recording extensions. This is the one that I loaded, and it works just fine. It's super simple. You record. Anyway, I will explain more about that later, but that is also an extension. Okay. Okay, so here's the link to Nearpod, which is one of the add-ons. Um, this right here is a link. HyperDocs is pretty much a Google Slides or a Google document that has a lot of links in it. Links to websites, links to activities, links to everything. And HyperDocs is a website that I found that has pre-made lesson plans full of links. So I put that in if anyone is interested. I'm going to go over the basics of Google Slides. I assume most of us understand the basics of how to do all of this, but just in case, something I really hate is when I watch a tutorial and they start talking about something I have no idea because they just assume you know. So if there's something that I start talking about and you don't know, just wait. At the end, I will go through all of the basics or a lot of the basics. But for those who already know, I don't want to waste your time sitting and waiting through a bunch of things that you already know. Okay, so the first thing I want to teach you real quick is how to add links. Super easy. All you have to do, so here's the page about adding links. So you can only attach links to text and shapes that I believe. You cannot add a link to an image, but I have a workaround for that. So super easy. All you do is highlight the text. Okay, just imagine I did the whole thing that you want linked. So say this is directions on go to this site and this is what you do, blah, 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 blah. All you need to do is highlight, right click, go down to link. Now this is where you would paste the link of the website. So say if it's a Nearpod activity, because the kids would do the activity in Nearpod, not in Google Slides, you could just put join.nearpod.com, which I think is the website, in here. Or the other option is you can link to other slides in the presentation, which is what you've seen me doing. All of the underlined words on slide 2 are all linked to something. So slides in this presentation, all you have to do is pick what number slide. The really nice thing about that when you're picking another slide, so let's see, I will choose another slide. We are currently on slide 6. I'm going to link it to slide 7. You have to hit apply. If you just hit enter, it doesn't work. Hit apply. So now when I click on this, either like this and then click slide 7 or presentation mode, I just click these words, it will automatically take me to slide 7. But here's the really nice part, and I would always double check this because I've had it get messed up. But normally, it's linked to the very next slide. If you add another slide, the cool thing is, so now it's actually linked to slide 8 because it knows you want it linked to this, not an empty slide that you just added. You want it linked to whatever the direction's already on this. So it changes it for you. And the same works if you get rid of a slide. So now it's back to being linked to slide 7. Like I said, I would always double check because I've had things mess up before. I don't know what I did wrong, but always double check and make sure. But that's something really cool. You can cut, like I changed the order of these. So right now this is linked to slide 6. If I decide, I want to put this somewhere else, cut, I want to put this over here, it's still going to be linked to slide 6. So that's really nice, but I don't want it over there, so I'm going to put it back. Okay, something you can do is you can copy slides. I'm hitting Command. I have a Mac, or I think on a PC it'd be Control or something. And I can copy this entire slide and go put it in a new presentation. But when you do that, the links that are going to a different slide will no longer work because it only works in this presentation. If you're going somewhere else, the link is going to break, so you'll have to redo it. If you copy the entire presentation, I think it'll keep those links that are going to different slides, but not if you just copy one or two slides. Those links will break. You'll have to relink. Okay. So now that you know some of these basics, now I'm just going to go over real easy the different ways that you can use in distance learning, or when we come back and in-person learning, because these are all great. And we want our kids to use more technology anyway. So presentations, I'm not going to go over too much because it's pretty self-explanatory. You make the backgrounds, you put your images, you put your links, whatever it is. So that's just, like I said, I'll go over the basics at the end if you don't know how to do those things. The second idea is Bitmoji Classroom. You can use your Bitmoji Classroom to display your lesson plans and assignments, to add links and videos. I'm not going to go over how to make a Bitmoji Classroom though, because somebody else is doing that tutorial on just that specifically. Okay, so here's something that hopefully they'll go over in Bitmoji Classroom, but it's really good for these presentations also. So I'm going to go to the beginning. So say you send to your students in presentation mode. If I click, it automatically goes to another slide, which for slide 1, that's great, no problem. But say right now I have all of these links, I want the kids to choose a link, right? I don't want them to go on to the next slide. It's going to confuse them. The whole point is they're supposed to click on a link and it takes them somewhere, right? Maybe this is a choice board, maybe this is your Google Classroom, and you want them on this specific page. You don't want them going somewhere else unless they specifically choose it. So here is the trick that I learned. It's a little annoying, but it works. And if somebody else has a better idea, let me know. But this is a trick that I learned. You want to add a shape and cover the entire board. But of course, now you're covering everything. So you're going to go back up here, make your shape transparent, make the border transparent, and now it's like it's not even there. But you're going to want to order it. You're going to put it at the very back. Oops. Send to the back. Now, actually, before you do that, you should do one step first. Sorry, don't send it to the back yet. What you want to do, because if you just leave it like this, you're still going to click and it's going to change to the next slide. You want to, find the shape. Sorry, I sent it to the back first. And you want to link it to itself. So this is slide 2. I'm going to link this to slide 2. So now when we go in presentation mode and you put it in the back, order in the back, no matter where I click, I'm going to stay here. I can click all over the place and I'm not going anywhere unless I choose to go somewhere, unless I click that specific link and it takes me somewhere. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I've done this on all of my Google slides, Bitmoji Classroom slides. The tricky part is layering though, because sometimes you want it in the very back, sometimes you want it kind of in the middle. Maybe you have images in your Bitmoji Classroom that you want in the back and you don't want the kids clicking on. So making sure everything is in the correct order is tricky. Anything you want the kids to click on, you want it on top of the shape. Anything you don't want the kids, like you don't want them to be able to click and the page to move, the slide to move, you have to make sure it's on. So here's the first real thing I'm going to teach you, because these two things are pretty easy, or there's another tutorial on them. So choice boards, or I didn't really know what to name this one. I just named it a book. But pretty much it's anything where the kids click on something and it's going to take them to a different slide, which I kind of already showed you, but I'll show you some examples. So this I got from Teachers Pay Teachers, what I'm going to show you right now. This is what I'm going to use for back to school night. I put it in presentation mode, so it automatically goes to presentation. And it's going to be all the information that the parents need. If I click here, 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 nothing happens because I put that transparent rectangle. If I click here, it takes me to another page. If I click here, it takes me to another page, and they can go back and forth to the different pages. So it's like little tabs. The choice boards are pretty much the same idea, and I'm going to show you how to do this. With this, it's real easy because I can go back and forth. I can see all the tabs at the same time. But the choice boards, I'll show you, I would make a little home button for yours. Okay, so the first thing, you want to add a new slide. You can just simply add the plus button, but that's going to give you some text boxes automatically, or you can choose from different templates. I always go with blank because I always move text boxes. You want to make a background. So you could simply just choose a color and make a background, or you can choose image. And if you have an image on your computer, you can upload it, or you can do Google image search. So for a choice board, so say you're giving the kids choices of how to practice their spelling words, right? You want to give them different ideas. They can do something different every time to practice. So you can search circles, squares, whatever. That's going to give you different spaces for the choices. So I'm going to do sticky notes. I like this one because it's nice and clear, all the different sticky notes, and I love that they're different colors. You could do this one. That one's super cute, actually. But nice and easy, we're going to go with this one. I just double clicked it. It's going to insert it. Done. So here's my choice board. I'm going to add a text box. And you would add a text box to every single sticky note just the same way. Click here and then drag your text box. You can fill in the background. You can put a border. It doesn't really matter. So say your first choice that the kids can do for spelling is write the words 5 times each. So I'm just going to put 5 times each. Simple as that. You can make it bold, italics, change the text color, make a background color, change the font, change the size, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to leave it like this to make it easy. So now I'm going to make another slide. I'm going to make this slide match the color of this choice. So again, background. Anytime you do background, the kids can't change anything. That's not exactly. You can, go to custom. Let's see. Find a color that's close. Like none of these, but that's pretty good. All right. So now let's say, here's my title. Write your words 5 times each. Again, you can change the font, make it a nice title, make it the header, and then down here, do your directions. Write neatly, spell words correctly, email me a photo, or however you have the students turn theirs in. A photo. Simple as that. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our choices. I'm going to highlight this, right click, link. This is slide 4. I'm going to link it to slide 4, apply. So now when the kid is in present mode, they click this and it takes them to the slide. Again, this is really ugly. I would make it super cute, but you get the idea. And so you could keep doing that for all of the different sticky notes. Give them all the different choices. A text box here links to another slide. This one links to another slide. Again, you'd want to do that transparent triangle and layer it at the bottom so that the kid doesn't click somewhere in the white and it takes them to the next page. You want them to stay on this page until they click an actual choice. Another thing I suggest is making a home button. For my Bitmoji classroom, I made it one of my Bitmojis, just a funny little, one of the funny images, or you can make a little like home icon. So you could add an image. The key thing is you want it to be transparent. Transparent house. Oh, that one's okay. But these are giving me like house pictures. So let's do transparent house clip art. There we go. This one's cute. And transparent means that it won't have like a white background. So you see how this is transparent, everything around. Size it, click it over here, and I'm going to, oh, that's right. So images you cannot link. So here's my trick. Oops, I want a shape. I'm going to put a shape on top of this. Make it transparent. And then link the shape back to slide 3. So now, or you could even, instead of doing the shape, you could put a text box that says home and they click on the words. But if these guys are young, it's nice to have the entire image. So now I can click on that and go back to home. Easy. And you put that on every slide, that way the kids can go through all the different options and then go back to the home and pick the one they actually want. Okay, so let me get rid of this. So that's my example. I need to change the words, coloring. This is a link to a Teachers Pay Teachers free choice board. And then this goes to the notes. Okay, next example is class rewards. So I'm just going to jump really quick to a couple of Teachers Pay Teachers ideas. The difference with these, so all of these before the presentation, Bitmojis, and the choice books or choice boards and books are all things you don't want kids moving objects. You just want them to click on things. Class rewards, you probably want them to move things. So I'm going to show you these examples, and then I'll teach you the drag and drop activity. Sorry, I should have ordered these differently. Okay, so here's an idea of digital rewards. If you wanted to buy it, I just, wanted to show you so you would know, and I'll show you how to make this. But I guess, the kids win a marble and they get to drag it inside the jar. Or there's a bunch of other ones that this woman has put together. Cookies in the cookie jar, put pieces on your pizza, put sprinkles on your donut, all the same concept. They're moving the items over. Stack up your pancakes. Those are all super cute. And so I put those ideas for you. So now we're going to do the drag and drop activities. You click here if you want the notes. But we're going to go to one that I created. So the class rewards and the drag and drop activities are ones that you would want to have the make a copy option, where I showed you how you paste and get rid of the edit and put the word copy, because you want every kid to have their own copy, and they would put their name at the top, and then you can go back and grade it or leave notes and let them try it again, things like that. So quantity, drag the pictures to the correct word. Again, I teach ESL, so they're learning things like this. So this is the activity. They will not go in present mode. If they go in present mode, they can't move anything. You want them to be able to move. Everything back here is a background. They can't move it. I can't move any of these things. Okay? Except these images I can move. And then they would put what? Any single. Right? And so they would put it in the correct spot, and then I can go back and check. Same thing for this. They just drag it to where it belongs. So now that you guys have seen an example, I will show you how to do it. So with our choice board, we downloaded an image, or we added an image, and it already made it a background. However, this, I made my own background because nobody's going to have this. So this is how you do it. So you could choose a background, like just a color, or you can choose an image. So like, put question marks. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so let's say I'm doing that. Actually, that might be really busy. Anyway, but you get the idea. Background is easy. It's already done. You don't have to move anything. Whatever else, first you want to add the things that you don't want the students to move. You want them to be glued to the background. So I added shapes on mine. Let's see, I added a shape for the image to go into. I left it gray. You could change the color, maybe make them all blue. Copy, and made a bunch more of them. Paste, paste, paste. You get the idea. Spread them out. There you go. Okay, but right now you can move them, and we don't want the kids to move them. Next, we need some instructions. So I'm going to put a text box. Because my background's so busy, I'm going to fill in the background. Drag items to the correct box. You can't read that, so I'm going to change the color. Make it a little bit bigger. You get the idea. Okay. Then we need some more text boxes for each box. Move this out of the way. Make it white again. So for mine, it was quantity, so we'll say many. Oh, it didn't change the color. Okay, you get the idea, right? There. And I would add another text box for each one. Okay, so these are all things I don't want the students to move. Don't add the pieces yet that you want them to move. This is all the stuff that should be glued to the back. We're going to download it. I don't think it matters, JPEG or PDF. It doesn't really matter. JPEG works just fine. It's going to only download the current slide. So it just downloaded. But now you want a new slide, because this one you're not actually going to use. You just used it to create the image. I always have to take mine out of the downloads folder. I know there's probably some way to fix that, but I don't know. So here's the image I just made on my desktop. And now when I go to add a background, choose image, I'm going to upload from my computer. So now it's the exact image I just made, but I can't move anything. Oops. Here's the one I made before. I can still move things. This one is a flat image. Everything is glued. So now that you have your background exactly how you want and everything is flat, now you can add images. So what? I had a gumball machine. Oops. If it comes up with it. Oh, those are cute. You get the idea. So now I can add my images that you would drag. So I just added an image from online, but if the images online don't work, you can create your own, which is also what I did. I found a gumball clip art and I added red circles to some of them, or covered it completely with white circles to represent the different quantities. You can see it's all the same image from online, but I added the red circles on top. Okay, so say you want this image, but you want it to look different. So all I did on mine was I added circles, which this is not the best. So I'll do it nice and big so you can see. And I made mine all red because I wanted them to focus on how many red there were. Paste, 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 blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. Okay, so say there's a bunch of red gumballs in there. You can add more, like whatever it is that you're doing. You can actually glue, oops, how do I do it? You can attach all of these. So I had to hit Control and click on all of them, and I'm grouping them together. So now I can move them and they're all together. You don't really have to do that for this. That's just a good tip. Makes it easier. Or you can, there should be ungroup. Okay. Pretty much what you have to do is you have to download the image again. And then this time when you get the image, excuse me, you have to crop each individual image out. Now it's going to give me the option to crop. And now this is the image. And I would upload that. Okay, so I don't need these anymore because this is still my good background. And now when I upload an image, upload from computer, I can upload this single image. And now that becomes the item that the kids move. So they would not do presentation mode. You would have them do the activity like this, and they move the items. Okay, hope that made sense. All right. So that's the same thing you would do with class rewards. You'd make your background, download the background, and then upload again as a background, and then add your moving pieces. And if you need to customize movable pieces, you make them all. Again, download it as a JPEG, crop out each image, and then insert those images again. Okay. Worksheets. Same idea, only instead of images, you're doing text boxes. So same thing. You do want to do the background where you download the background. So this is one I found online. The students can't move this text box. So whoever made this added all of this, downloaded the image as a JPEG, and then uploaded again as a background, and then added text boxes on top. So now the students go and add whatever text they want. Same concept. Okay. Oh, and here's my virtual Meet the Teacher. That's the same as this. I forgot I had added that. Sorry. And here's where I got it from the TPT store. So that's the same as this. I forgot I added it down here. Okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to teach you, and then I'll go over some of the basics. Adding a voice recording. So I told you that that was an extension. All you have to do is go up here to find the icon, or I click down here. Simple audio voice sound recording. Like I said, there's a lot of different audio recording options. This one I tried, and it's nice and simple. All you do is record. Hello, hello, hello. Stop. It shows up right here. You can listen to it to make sure it's good. Hello, hello, hello. You need to, okay, there's a few steps. You have to download it. Again, my download folder is weird. I have to pull mine out. I don't know why. You have to upload it to your drive. It won't work if you don't upload it to your drive. File upload. Here it is. Oh, I suggest giving it a name first also. So let's do that really quick. Cancel. Gonna give it a name. Hello. Okay. Now we'll upload it. Hello. It's uploading, and you want to put it in that folder that you made. Oh. I'm going to move it to my shared files. Move to shared. Oh, it's already in my shared file. Sweet. All right. Because I was already in that folder. Okay, so that's how you make the voice recording. You have to add it to your Google Drive. You can't just upload it from your computer. And all you have to do is insert audio. And there it is. Select. Okay, you have to make the file shareable. And you can't really do, I don't think it has the sharing options here. You have to do it in your drive. But you can format it. You can do a bunch of different things. You can make it a different color, size it, location, all those things. So that's cute. But then you have your audio recording. Too many tabs open. I have an audio recording, a couple of them to explain, like, click the heart to go home. This is my home button. This explains, like, these are all the different websites we're going to be using, and I'll link them. And there's more recordings throughout. So simple, super simple. The virtual meet the teacher, I already went over that. So if you know all of the basics for Google Slides and you just came for some ideas on how to use them, you're done. If you are still confused on just how to do some of these simple basics, then you can keep listening. So I'm going to go to slide 17 and I'll just go over these. Okay, so I already told you how to share. I highly recommend, oh, there's a little icon, putting them into a common folder in your drive and then just share the entire folder, so you don't have to think about it. But you want it to be anyone with the internet can view. And you just simply copy the link, or if you want them to be able to move items or type, you have to change this to editor. And then when you copy the link, you get rid of the last text and either present, so it's in present mode and the kids just simply go through it and click links, or put copy if you want them to all have their own copy because they're going to be moving items or adding items. Okay, a new slide right here, easy peasy. You can choose a template, make it blank, or you just simply click the plus button. Open. Oh, so I'm going through everything under here, file. Open just pulls things from your drive. Import slides, you can import from PowerPoint. So if you already have activities in PowerPoint, you can load them straight into Google Slides, which is awesome. You don't have to like sit there and recreate all of them. Or you can insert slide, like a whole presentation that you made already, and you want to add the whole presentation to this one you're making right now. Okay, make a copy. You can copy just a single slide, or you can copy the entire presentation. This is great if you want like a template, or if you want, one template where nothing changes, and then you want another copy where you're going to make a bunch of changes or something. You can email, download. These are all the different ways you can download. This is what I've been using to make a background. I think I said PDF. We should be on the next slide. Okay. You can rename it. You can move it. Add a shortcut with your drive. These ones are all pretty self-explanatory. Edit, I didn't go into. Those are self-explanatory. View, okay, that's what I'm going through now. Present, that's the same thing as hitting present mode. Easy. Motion, okay. Motion is really fun. It's the same thing with PowerPoint. You can add, as the slides transition from one slide to the next, you can add some animation. They can flip, they can fade in, dissolve, things like that. Apply to all slides, so every time you transition, it does the same, or you can just do the one. Aha, so I can animate just this one thing. Fade in, click on the image. Okay. We're down here. Okay, master slide. Master slide is tricky. It's pretty much you're making a background that you want on every single slide. So if I wanted this little image, or if I wanted all of my slides to have the sticky notes here, I would do master. And you pretty much create the slides and it will automatically apply it to all of them. This is the master, and these are different layouts. You can create a new layout and save it, and then your layout will show up here using this. But the nice thing is the master. So if you want every single slide to have the exact same background, you would do it here. Pretty much all the same options up here. Everything's the same. So let's see, I'll insert an image. Let's do house book. So I insert it, and now look over here. Every single slide has that background. So the nice thing is that if you want the same background on every single slide, this is a great way to do it because it turns it into a background so that once you exit master, you don't have to download this slide and then reload it as a background. It's already a background, and then you could always come in and edit it. So it's a lot easier, but it only works if you want it on every single slide. So, oops. So yeah. All right, where were we? Okay, grid view, easy. Where is grid view? Oh, I'm on the wrong one, that's why. Grid, it just gives you, you can see multiple at the same time. Easy peasy. The guides, that way if you want things in a certain spot, these are guidelines, show guides. So that shows you exactly where the center is. You can move these guides if you want it up here, you get the idea. You don't really need it though because, and you could add just one or the other. Because the nice thing is, watch, I'll show you. It will show a red line once you've hit the center. So see that red line? It means I'm basically centered. And then same thing with here. See, now I know I'm centered because I could see those red lines that show up. And it shows you that you're right. This also works if you're lining up images. If I have multiple images, the red line will show up when I have lined up with the other image, like where this image is centered with the other image. So you don't really need the grid lines, but if you like them, that's great. Okay. Or sorry, the guidelines. Speaker notes. Speaker notes is really cool. Okay. Speaker notes. Oh, I already had mine on. Oops. So speaker notes is great because you can just type blah, 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 whatever you want. And I think when you go to print, the speaker notes will show up next. So if you print these slides, I can find where to do that. Oops. Print settings and preview. I think this is it. Include, oh yeah, you can skip slides. Oh, slides without notes. You want slides with notes. So whatever speaker notes you had, there we are. Those are the, random notes I did. Close preview. Another really cool thing, maybe tools. Voice type speaker notes. If you turn this on and talk, it will turn your voice into the notes. So right here, click. It will turn your voice into the notes. So that's really cool. I like that one. That was under tools. Okay. Next, let's see what else I got. Insert image. So now I'm going through all the insert. A lot of these also have shortcuts. So image, you can upload from your computer if you have an image. You can search the web, pull from your drive, photos, pull from your camera. The shortcut for that is right here. You're going to find all the same things if you click the little arrow. Text box, same thing. Insert a text box, or there is a shortcut right here. All of these have like formatting options. So if you were to insert a text box, hello, and you wanted to format, there we go. There's lots of different things you can do. You can add it. Okay. Audio, just like I told you before, insert audio. You want to add an extension, record. download it to computer, upload it to your drive, and then you will find it here. And you have to put it in your drive in a folder and make that folder viewable, or else people won't be able to hear it. You'll have it on your slide and it will tell them they need permission. Okay. Yeah, so that's all the steps for that. Video, insert video. You can create a video with Screencastify and insert it. You can insert a YouTube video. It lets you search YouTube videos and you can put them right into your drive. Screencastify videos, I believe, go into your Google Drive. You can get those. Or you can just, click here and it will go, add a link. It'll go to the YouTube. Shape. This is the shortcut. Here's all the different shapes you can add. Again, you can format. Word art is pretty cool. Insert word art. I'll do that one again. The only bad thing is you can't change the color, I don't believe. But you can add reflection, which is fun, and shadow. But word art is great because it'll change shape to whatever you want. Whatever shape you give it, it will fit. So that's kind of fun. Animation, that's what we already did before, where you can make things fade in, you can make them disappear, things like that. And when you do that, you can tell it to do it as soon as the student gets to that slide. So as soon as they're in present mode and I click to this slide and I have an image here, it could either automatically appear, say, drizzle in or whatever it is, or you can say don't drizzle in until the student clicks. So they click on the slide and then the image appears, and you can do that. You can have one image appear after another every time the student clicks, or you could have one image, multiple images show up together. You could have one image show up and then another and then another and another right after each other. There's lots of things that you could do with that. So let's see, we'll insert an image. Let's do this house again. Nice and easy. There it is. Okay, so fade in. You can do all these different things. They can fly in with the previous, after the previous, on click. So let's do on click. Present. The house isn't there. When I click, then it's going to fly in. Right? Or if I had another image, there'd be another right here. And I could say with previous, so they'd both come in together. Or I could say on click. So I click, this one shows up, and I click again, another one shows up. So you get the idea. And you can play here. I don't know why I went up there. You can play and it'll show you what it looks like. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, insert slide numbers. Really easy. It just means it'll see the little 21 at the bottom. It puts the number of the slide. Easy peasy. You can get rid of that if you want. Format, I already showed you. Lots of different things have formatting options. Insert a slide, same as the shortcut. Slide, these are all self-explanatory. You can skip a slide in the presentation. When you send it in presentation mode, it will skip one, which one is highlighted, delete slide. You can also just do that by right-clicking on the slide and duplicate or skip, or there's a delete. So a lot of these are also shortcuts with just double-clicking on the slide. The transition, how you want to move from one to the next. Edit master, that master slide background that I showed you. Okay, arrange. The order is the same as, a lot of these are the same as right-clicking on it. So you can change the order. Do you want it in the back where nobody could touch it? Do you want it in the front? If it's already in the front, then that won't highlight because it's already in the front. Tools. There's a spell check tool. There's an explore tool. Okay, explore. It gives you formatting ideas. So that won't really work for this. Let's see this one. Tools. explore. It's just going to give you a bunch of different ideas of how you could set it up. If you don't like the way it looks right now, I don't have a lot of images, so it's not giving me a ton of options. That's simple. Okay. Dictionary, voice typed speaker notes, what I told you before. Adding a new slide. The add-ons, we already talked about that. Adding a new slide, it's going to be this stuff that we talked about. Click the plus sign, which will automatically give you, I think, this formatted slide. Or you click the arrow for different choices. The background, if you want to change the background, you have to be clicked on the background for it to show up. Just a picture, or you can choose an image from online or from your computer. What else? Transition is how it changes from one to the other. And then how to link, all of that. All right, so that was a lot. I hope I didn't talk too much. I hope I explained everything really well. Please feel free. I did ramble a little bit, I'm sure. So please feel free to email me if you have any questions, if something was not clear. I have absolutely no problem helping you out with that. Hopefully you don't need to, though. All right, well, thank you guys.